Police appeal as man goes missing in Manchester city centre. Police have issued an appeal to help find the man who has gone missing in Manchester city centre. The man, named only as Joshua, was last seen on Sunday the 23rd of April. He was spotted on Great Ducey Street before he headed in the direction of the city centre, police said. Joshua, from Stalybridge, was last seen wearing grey jogging bottoms and a black t-shirt with a logo. He described to have been a large build with long ginger hair, which is usually worn in a ponytail. He also has a bushy ginger beard and tattoos on his face, neck and both arms. Police said officers are becoming increasingly concerned about Joshua's welfare. 2 women have been arrested on suspicion of murder after a man was killed in a senseless attack at a house in Tameside. Officers were scrambled to Thoresby Avenue in Hyde at around 2:55 p.m. Sunday 23rd of April to reports of a domestic disturbance. A man, aged in his 20s, was found at the scene in critical condition. He was rushed to the hospital but tragically pronounced dead. 2 women, aged 19 and 27, were arrested at the scene on suspicion of attempted murder. Later that night, they were arrested on suspicion of murder. Both women remain in police custody to be quizzed by detectives. Police said the incident was isolated. On the Sunday afternoon, a number of police vehicles were pictured at the scene, with an air ambulance also landing nearby on a sports pitch off Grange Road North. A man has been jailed for a sickening abduction and sexual assault of a 6-year-old girl in Tameside. Lewis Jones, 24, of no fixed abode but from Liverpool, was sentenced to life in prison at Manchester Crown Court Wednesday the 25th of April after pleading guilty to kidnapping the girl and sexually assaulting her in August 2022. The court heard how Jones abducted a 6-year-old from a field at the side of her sister's house in Charleston, where she was playing with her cousins. The children spotted a man, later identified as Jones, sat on a bench, which was situated right in front of where they were, making a den with sticks. He watched them playing for approximately an hour, taking photographs of them, whilst also on his phone at various times. He removed his t-shirt at one point, which revealed a tattoo on his chest, an identifying factor noticed by one of the children and later recounted to the police. Jones then approached the youngsters and offered them to help collect sticks. He then grabbed the girl under his arm, stuck his fingers in her mouth, and then took her away from the area. One of the other children tried to follow him, but lost him. What a sick cunt. Police were contacted and family members searched for her. She was located in the same area 20 minutes later. After carrying her away from the field, Jones took her to a van and put her in the back where he sexually assaulted her and took indecent photographs, which police later recovered from his phone. The child had bruises, abrasions, and a tooth knocked out as a result of the incident. Jones was arrested by police the following day. Following Jones's imprisonment, Ruth Mann, Senior Crown Prosecutor for CPS Northwest Rape and Serious Sexual Offence Unit, said, "Jones is a sexual predator and a danger to children. A 6-year-old child being kidnapped in broad daylight is every parent's worst nightmare." Absolutely. Jones took the child for his own sexual gratification with no thought for the lasting damage his sickening attack would cause. The strength of the evidence was such that in this case, Jones had no option but to plead guilty. The CPS is committed to bringing sex offenders to justice. I hope this sentence will give the child and their family some sense of justice and that they can now begin to put what happened behind them. Yeah, probably not. A man has died after crashing on a busy road in Wigan on April the 22nd. Police say that the crash happened around midday at the junction on Beach Hill Avenue, Scott Lane and Woodhouse Drive. The driver crashed after suffering a suspected medical episode, GMP said. They were rushed to hospital but pronounced dead a short time after. The area was particularly busy at that time due to a crash happening close to the Wiggins Athletic DW Stadium, who were playing that afternoon. An air ambulance was called to the scene with the road closed off for some time. The road has since reopened. A GMP spokesman said, Greater Manchester Police were called to a road traffic collision at around midday on Saturday the 22nd of April 2023 at a junction of Beach Hill Avenue, Scott Lane and Woodhouse Drive in Wigan. Emergency services arrived, along with the air ambulance, and quickly established that this was caused by a suspected medical episode. Sadly, the man driving the car was pronounced deceased a short time later in hospital. A man has been arrested after a terrifying brawl in front of dozens of horrified onlookers in Manchester city centre. The incident was captured on video on April the 19th and showed two men fighting before one pulls out a large machete and swings it at the other. The fight happened at around 6:15 just outside the entrance to the Arndale shopping centre in Exchange Square as people walked by. Police were called to the scene, with witnesses telling the Manchester Evening News they saw a number of police vehicles parked up beside the tram stop in Exchange Square and the officers circling Printworks at the time. Police have now arrested a 49-year-old man on suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm with intent after the targeted attack. They remain in police custody for questioning. Police have released CCTV images of a man they want to speak to after a girl was sexually assaulted in Oldham. Officers were called to reports of a young girl being sexually assaulted by a man near Lees Valley on April 29th at around 4:30 p.m. Inquiries established that the victim was walking along a public footpath near Turner Street, Lees, when she was approached by an unknown man who assaulted her. No arrests have been made and inquiries are ongoing. Greater Manchester Police have since released CCTV images of a man wearing a black hoodie with the hood up, black joggers and black trainers. Officers will be in and around the area conducting highly visible patrols whilst investigations progresses. Inspector Catherine Murray of GMP's Oldham District said, "We're releasing CCTV images of a man that we would like to speak to in connection with this incident. He may be able to help us with our inquiries, and I would encourage anyone who thinks they may be able to recognise him to get in touch with the police as soon as you're able to." And although the picture's not really good quality, let's try our best to find this little prick